Hi everybody, and happy Friday. We're back again this week to expand a little bit on the technique that we demonstrated last week, which is how to wrap a side drilled bead, breelet, whatever, more like a bead. And we did a nice little thing with that, and everybody seemed to like that. But then you can take it a step further, and you can take that bead and make it into a connector. So this week I'm going to show you how to make your bead into a connector, and then you're just going to really go to town. So come on over here and let's get to it. Okay, so you guys can see I finished my charm string I was working on last week with the little wrapped beads, leaf beads, and then I proceeded to go on and make the neckline with the same beads. I use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 beads to make the tassel. And I just, to make the tassel, I just cut a piece of Figaro. You know, you can cut it however long. It could be shorter, it could be longer. Just depends on your taste. And then I just started connecting it to them like it was a charm bracelet. But I picked it up in the middle and hooked it to something else. And that's what made it into a tassel. Then I hooked it to this piece from 1928. I don't know, connector, I guess you'd call that a connector. It's a focal. I thought it was really pretty with the bright silver. And then I just proceeded to make, I'm going to just bring this here so you can see a little bit better. I just proceeded to make the leaves into connectors rather than just something would dangle like this piece here on the back, which finishes it. So, to review how we did that last time, I'm going to take this piece of wire, which is about just a hair over 4 inches. Maybe not that one, it's broken. Oh, that one's broken. Oh no, thank you, Javi. It happens, you know. They're glass. Yeah, not that one, huh? I would have it made in like rats. She saved the day once again. Okay, so I'm just going to take this wire. You can go back to the video from last time too and see this. It's a short video, but just to show you again real quick, I take it about 1/3 of the way in maybe, and then I pull this up and I pull the other side up. Okay, kind of, I always call it crossing its legs. But anyway, and I try to get it as snug as I can, okay, and right the crisscross right in the middle, okay. And then what I'll do is I'll take this part and I'll bend it up, because that's going to form the bail eventually when you get to that far. And then this part, just simply, I hope you can see, you just bend it around and wrap it. And I go, when I do this, I come to this side, not up there. So you'll see I bring it around. The trick is to get it good and tight, not wonky like I usually do, and I've already started wonking out. Oh well, for the sake of time, I'm just going to keep going because I don't care. A little wonky means handmade, and I love it. It's like they call it designer crude. Okay, so let's see. So I got a tail about, let's see, about 3/4 inch long left here off to the side. So now what I need is my looping pliers, and I will take and start to do this loop. So I'll just bring it around, just try to pull the leaf out of the way because it is glass and you can see what happens to glass. And then I made a little bit of an arc, and then the rest I'm going to do with my hands until I get to the real loopy thing. Sometimes if you're fortunate you can get it bent around just right. It's like kismet, and then you don't hardly have to do anything. I'm not going to need this much tail, so I'm going to take part off. It's something you have to just, you know, practice it, do it, and eyeball it, and you'll get onto it. It'll be fine.
And what gauge wire did you use?
20. I'm sorry, Javi, thank you for prompting me. You want to use 20 gauge. On the dangles, you could probably go with a little bit less, but when you do the connectors, which is right up next, you definitely want 20 gauge because you need the strength of it. Don't go to 18, no, 18's too much. I'm going to have to trim this again. Sometimes you do. I should have probably went the other way because Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's just harder.
Yeah, I should have went the other way. Let that be a lesson to you. Go the other way. Okay. So now what I do is I just pull this back. I've got a nice little, you know, curve there. You don't have to do this. You can just wrap it around and cut it off. But if you like the look of this, that's how you do it. Press this back. Mush it up here. That helps. My hands are so shaky.
It's okay. They see the point that you were making from the last.
Yeah, you can go back to the last one, but I just wanted to review it real quick and do it. Last night I was making these like I was a machine. Anyway, you need to get that up tight to there. I'm not going to keep doing it right now because we want to get done, but anyhow. So now up here, we're just going to pull back this way because I want my loop to come this way. I'm going to bend over, bend it over, hold it secure, and just wrap around the neck of it. And then I'll just cut my little burr off. And then later, when I get all finished up, I'll go back over all my leaves to make sure that I have everything, you know, not sticking up. Get them all pushed down in, because you have to do that. Sometimes a crimping pliers works really good for that, which I didn't bring mine down here, but actually that one's not bad. I always feel over it to see if something's sticking out. So anyway, that's basically it. It could be a little bit nicer like these here, but that's basically how you do it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the connector, which is really kind of exciting because once you learn to do this, you'll be trying it on a whole bunch of different beads, and new horizons will just open up everywhere. To me, these little carved leaves, well, they're not carved, they're molded check, but they look like carved gemstone to me because of these vibrant colors. So I really like this look. So now I want about 5.5 inches to do the connector. 5.5 inches of 20 gauge. Okay. So, and again for this project you need a cutters, you need a flat nose pliers, and you need a looping pliers or a round nose. Either one will work. Okay, so we're going to do pretty much the same thing at first. I'm going to go this way this time. See, what way did I do it? No, they go this way. Okay. All right, so I'm going to come through the hole because it's drilled across. Okay, and I'm going to come up about this much, which is, oh, not quite an inch. More like 3/4 maybe. You could probably even do less. Then try to get it crisscrossed right in the middle, okay? Right in the middle. Then just, you can even do it with your fingers, just pinch it and bend it up. So that gets it out of the way for the work. Okay, so now we're going to start wrapping it just as if we were going to do the regular wrap to make a pendant or an earring drop. See, now it's not something, I'm just going to show you what I just did. I pulled that and I stressed the hole a little bit and an itty bitty chip came out. It's not enough to stop, but just, you know, be careful that you don't put too much stress on it when you're wrapping it, because you could chip the glass. And what
if you're wrapping it too, you can always wrap until it covers the hole.
You could,
if
you go down far enough, but then it'll be hard because we want to make this loop. Okay, so now you're like this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this wire, and it's just like we do when we go around beads. You know, we're just going to bend it around in a pleasing way. Normally I try to get 2 out of it. It looks like I will. See, I just bent it around. And of course, the more you do it, you'll get it more uniform and nice, you know, and it'll be fine. But this is basically it. You know, this is how you go about it. And then I'll bring this up and I'm going to turn it. I probably have a little bit more than I need, so I'm going to just take off about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to take it, just like all my other turns, except I'm not doing it up here. I'm going to start. And I tend to like to make maybe a spiral if I can. Oops. If I can. And that just means just twisting it up. And there I go, I've got my spiral. I just rounded it. Just twist it over, over, over.
If you want, could they just make a little loop at the end, or would that be fine?
They could, but why I like to do this is because it adds strength. because remember, you're going to have this, you know, going around your neck, and you don't want it to pull apart. And that's the main concern here. When you make stuff like this, you have to be sure that you're making it in a way that will not pull apart. So what Javi suggests works, but it may not be the best idea.
Got it.
Okay, so I took a little bit more off here, and I'm going to do the same thing up here. Now this time I'm not going to wrap it forward, I'm going sideways because I want my connectors to be, you know, going the same way on each end. It makes it easier to connect them up and not have it going all wonky and every which way on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to take this, push it this way, and I'll grab this and then just start rolling it.
Now you're going to make a spiral there too?
Probably. You know, that's up to you guys. You know, you don't have to make a spiral, but 2 times around spiral looks kind of cool, and I think it adds strength. Now, of course, that's a little bit wonky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in there. Of course, me, I don't care about wonky, but you might. So I just take it and push it in a little bit. If I want, I could pull this up on the back and even nip a little bit of that off if I want. But yeah, it's good to go around a couple of times. Or maybe even leave a little bit more on there, not take as much off, and go around 2 times and then nip it. You know, you'll get it. This is the basic technique. You will refine it, and you will take it to the next level. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who have watched what I've done over the years, they have surely done that. Some of them amaze me with the stuff that I threw out there, and then they took it and ran with it, and it was like, oh wow, why didn't I think of that? But that's basically it. You just go around the bead a couple times if you can. So you want to cut off 5.5 at least. If you go out to 6, it's not going to hurt anything. You know, this wire, which of course I'm using the Beadsmith craft wire 20 gauge. I like this. Artistic wire is good too. Para wire is good too. You know, any of those. But I tend to do Beadsmith, sometimes artistic wire. So 20 gauge is kind of my go-to gauge. And of course I use gold because it matched everything else here. But yeah, it's soft and buttery, and yet it's got some strength. But if you go up to 18, it's going to be, it'll kink up, it'll be too tough. It's not a good thing to wrap around the bead. You could do 22, but if you do that, you better coil these more than twice. You better coil them a lot, and you better make your, you know, loops really tight, because it could pull apart. It's just not quite strong enough. So 20 is best. So that's pretty much it. So what do you think? You got any questions, Javi?
Nope, that's pretty good.
You know, it's pretty much the same thing we did last week.
But just an extra extension.
We instead of looping it, we just keep going, make another curl, and then we coil it. So like, for example, you know, you could just, for an example, like, okay, so you're not going to coil it. So you could just turn it like this, and then loop around, and then you could do the wrap. And that would be strong too. If you don't like the look of the quill, I like the look of the quill, and I just think 2 layers is better than 1. So that's what I do. But so you could do that too. Maybe
just depends on your style.
Yeah, you know, you experiment with it, play with it, and see what you like. Let's see, did I get that bent down? I always want to get that bent down. Well, I'll come back and do that later. We don't need to spend time on that, but I'll just do the other end to just show you what I did by coiling, because I kind of went fast there. So get hold of that, okay? Get your looping pliers, get your round nose on top, and just start. Keep the round one going. Ouch. Don't do that. Don't do that. My hands are so shaky. But yeah, just keep your, after you do it, just keep it in there. You know, keep your round nose inside it, you know, and just keep turning it, you know. Or even after you get it about this far, what you can do, and I'd often do this, is I take my flat nose and tamp it down, and then I just go around like this. This is really the easiest way. And just go around like this. And it makes you an ornamental piece that you can make into little charmy things, or, you know, whatever you want to do. In fact, the way I've done this, I have a loop up here. Actually, I have one. Let me show you. It just so happened that we have a nice little charm. How about that? So once you get playing around with this, you're going to just see so many ways to go. And that's what I like about wire. I don't do the complicated type wire, but I like to just sit and see what will that wire do? What will it become in my hands? What practical thing that I could do that would be pretty to enhance my jewelry? So that's pretty much what I needed to tell you today. I hope you'll try it. And if you like these check leaves, we'll get the link for you and put it in the description, because we do have them in stock and I have more coming. They're on constant reorder. So very popular. So anyway, have a great day and thanks for watching. Be sure that you subscribe, and if you would, leave me a kind comment. I'd like that. And you can like too. If you would, that means a lot to me if you leave me a like. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.